New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Jill Rio.
We are tracking much quieter weather for this morning, but of course we are keeping level eyes on those levels of the rivers across the region. But for this morning on our CAV tower cam, we are dealing with fog. So you get a view of our parking lot as dense fog has developed across the region. Now, as we go throughout the morning hours, that fog and drizzle will begin to dissipate, and we will continue to see quiet conditions as we head towards this afternoon. No rain is expected as we head throughout later today, so that is some very good news as we do begin to dry out and clean up from the heavy rain that we did see on Thursday. Unfortunately, there are a chance for some thunderstorms as we head towards Saturday and into Sunday. Just some drizzle showing up on a Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Again, cloud cover as well as that precipitation will begin to push to the east as we go throughout the morning. What we are keeping an eye on is a tropical storm Henri that's down across the Atlantic. That is projected to make its way into New England as we head towards Sunday. And because of that, we could see a few thunderstorms in the forecast. We're not going to see heavy rain as we head towards Sunday, but we're going to keep a close eye on that track as it could be impacting areas like Boston as well as Rhode Island and into New England as we head towards Sunday and Monday. Closer to home, fog and drizzle this morning will give way to partly cloudy skies by noon. Temperatures will make their way into the low to mid 80s as we head towards this afternoon into the evening hours. For tonight, quiet weather will continue. A great night to head outdoors as temperatures will be dropping back into the 60s. We'll start off dry for tomorrow, but as we head towards tomorrow afternoon, do run the risk for a few thunderstorms. So drizzle and fog this morning, giving way to partly to mostly cloudy skies this afternoon, with temperatures in the 80s. For tonight, we'll drop back into the upper 60s across the region. And taking a look at the rest of your forecast for tomorrow, dry to start, tracking a few showers and thunderstorms during the afternoon for both Saturday and for Sunday. We'll look at the latest river situations coming up. Katrina?
Thank you, Jill.
The time is 5:18. We're saying good morning to Barneveld and all of the greater Utica region. Drying out this morning, we do have the latest flood warnings to pass along to you for each specific location. Let's get right to those. Again, we do have a river flood warning again for the Mohawk River at the Delta Dam. This is until 5 p.m. on Saturday, but we are tracking those water levels. Again, we are seeing those levels drop for the Mohawk River at the Delta Dam, but we are still keeping an eye on the water levels here in Utica. We also have a flood warning for the West Canada Creek at Hinckley. This is until 2 p.m. Saturday. This creek is expected to get to only minor flood levels, but we want to keep a close eye on that. And then we also have the Black River at Boonville. This is until 8 a.m. this morning. So here's the latest information on what we're getting for the Mohawk River, the Delta Dam. Now at the minor flood levels, which is some very good news. It's going to continue to drop below that flood stage as we go throughout today. We're keeping a very close eye on West Canada Creek at Hinckley. It's expected to get to minor flood levels as we go throughout today, dropping as we head into tomorrow. And same story for the Mohawk River at Utica. This is what we're keeping a close eye on right now. We have not had any reports of flooding, but it is supposed to crest as we head towards this morning. Speaking of morning, we'll look at that morning commute forecast coming up. Katrina?
Thank you, Jill. These in by viewer Chuck Schaap in Rome. Many people taking photos out in what seems to be historic flooding. As night fell, you could see the water still sitting there, not receding. This is interesting. This is a look at East Dominic Street, and you see those building facades for those businesses. And then we have River Street here, which became a river at the height of that flooding. We'll continue to follow up on this for you throughout the day. Meantime, as
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Jill Rio.
And we are starting off this morning with some sprinkles as well as some fog across the region. And because of that, we do have a view of our parking lot on our CAV tower cam, unfortunately, because we are dealing with some dense fog up here on Central New York. As we go throughout the morning hours, we are dealing with some fog and some drizzle, and we're also keeping a close eye on, of course, those river levels for today. But the good news is we are going to dry out for today. We're not expecting any rain, just a few thunderstorms as we head towards this weekend. Again, just a few sprinkles up towards Boonville. Otherwise, on our Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar, quiet, but we are dealing with some fog, so you want to give yourself a little bit of extra time as you head out the door, as that precipitation, that moisture continues to push off to the east. What we're also keeping an eye on is a tropical storm Henri. We'll be tracking that coming up in less than 10 minutes, maybe impacting parts of New England for this weekend. Closer to home, again, clouds, fog this morning, giving way to partly to mostly cloudy skies as people continue to clean up from the flooding on Thursday. Now, as we head it towards this afternoon, we're going to warm up into the 80s across the region. So by 5 p.m. into the mid 80s with partly to mostly cloudy conditions. As we head towards tonight, quiet weather will continue. We'll drop back into the upper 60s. Dry to start for tomorrow morning. As we head towards tomorrow afternoon, temperatures will make their way into the low 80s across the region. And then we will begin to quiet things down as we head towards Saturday afternoon, but a few thunderstorms possible by Saturday evening. So again, for today, clouds, fog this morning, giving way to mostly cloudy skies this afternoon, with temperatures in the 80s. Tonight will drop back into the upper 60s across the region. Taking a look at the rest of your forecast as we head towards tomorrow, again, scattered showers and thunderstorms possible during the afternoon hours with temperatures in the mid 80s. We'll stay in the 80s for Sunday. Katrina?
Thank you, Jill.
The time is 5:49. We are keeping an eye on the tropics because it could be impacting parts of the Northeast and New England as we head towards this weekend. You'll hear a lot about this over the next couple of days. We do have Tropical Storm Henri, still a tropical storm at this point in time with winds of 65 miles per hour. What we are concerned about is its track as we head towards this weekend, especially for Sunday into Monday. It looks like it could make landfall in New England, somewhere between Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and Connecticut as a Category 1 hurricane. And because of that, there are now hurricane watches in effect from pretty much Providence, the Cape, as well as heading towards parts of Connecticut, Long Island, with tropical storm watches for western parts of Long Island into New York City. So we're going to keep a close eye on this track because it could be giving us some thunderstorms as we head towards Sunday. Look at that forecast coming up. Katrina?
Thank you, Jill. These photos were sent in by Needham and the J&J Creative Minds Organized Youth Foundation. This was on East Dominic Street in Rome around 4:30 yesterday afternoon. Photos are looking east and west in front of the building. They also looked up River Street from East Dominic Street, and you saw River Street turned into literally a river. Oneida County residents who...
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Jill Reel.
We are tracking some dense fog forward this morning, so if you're heading out the door, you want to give yourself a bit of extra time as we take a live look at our CAV tower cam. Again, this is our view up here on Smith Hill. We are dealing with dense fog as well as a little bit of drizzle to start for this morning, but the fog and the drizzle will be giving way to quiet conditions as we go throughout today. Do expect dry weather throughout the morning into the afternoon hours, and that is some good news, especially for those who are cleaning up from the flooding that we did see on Thursday. We're going to be tracking a few thunderstorms for this weekend, not a washout, but with the heat and humidity, we do run the risk for a few thunderstorms for Saturday and for Sunday. On our Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar, all that rain is now pushing off to the east. Behind it, we do still have a little bit of low-level moisture giving us that cloud cover as well as the mist for this morning. What we're keeping an eye on for this weekend is Tropical Storm Henri. It will not give us a direct impact across central New York, but if you are traveling to New England, just be aware that they could see landfall as we head towards Sunday and into Monday. Closer to home, cloud cover this morning, getting some sunshine as we head towards the afternoon hours, some limited sunshine for today. Temperatures warming up into the low to mid 80s. As we head towards tonight, quiet weather is going to continue throughout the overnight. Now, as we head into tomorrow, we could see a few pop-up showers or thunderstorms, and most of the day will be dry, which is some good news. It's going to be warm and humid as we go throughout the morning and afternoon hours for tomorrow. Today, fog and drizzle giving way to mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures will be in the low 80s for tonight. We'll drop back into the upper 60s across the region. And taking a look at your weekend forecast, again, not a washout each of the days, but we do run the risk for a few thunderstorms for Saturday as well as for Sunday, continuing into Monday. We'll look at the latest river information coming up. Katrina?
Thank you, Jill.
The time is 6:18. We're saying good morning to Barnveld and all the greater Utica region. Even the horses are dealing with the wet weather over the past couple of days. Now, we do have the latest information on those flood warnings for you. Again, we still have that flood warning for the Mohawk River at the Delta Dam until tomorrow at 5 p.m. We also have a flood warning for the West Canada Creek at Hinckley until 2 p.m. on Saturday. And then the Black River at Boonville until 8 a.m. this morning. Here are the latest information on these rivers across the region. The good news is The Mohawk River at the Delta Dam is now at the minor flood stage and is looking to go below that as we head towards today and into tomorrow. Now, the West Canada Creek is looking to get towards minor flood stages as we head into today and into early tomorrow morning. So if you do live along the creek, just keep a close eye on those water levels. Again, only expecting minor flooding with the West Canada Creek. Now, of course, we're still keeping an eye on the Mohawk River in Utica. No reports of flooding at this point in time, but the waters are still increasing, so we'll keep a close eye on that situation throughout the morning hours. Katrina?
Thank you so much, Jill. These photos were sent in by viewer Chuck Shep of Rome. Many people out taking photos of what seems to be historic flooding. As night fell, you could see the water was still there, not receding. I want to remind folks to stay safe where there's standing water. Some people getting in the water you saw during the day. Now, this is River Street in Rome, where the road turned into a river. Of course, River Street flooded, and that is what resulted in those businesses that you saw, the facades of the businesses on East Dominic Street behind the water on that flooded street. Switching gears now, the
Most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Jill Rio.
Starting off this morning with some very dense fog across parts of central New York as we take a live look at our CAV tower cam. Looking down towards the Mohawk Valley. Can't say too much up here on Smith Hill, so you want to give yourself some extra time as you head out the door. We are dealing with that fog and that drizzle for this morning, but we are going to dry out as we go throughout the morning into the afternoon, which is some good news, especially for those who are beginning to clean up from the flooding that we did see on Thursday. Now, speaking of rain, do run the risk for a few thunderstorms as we head towards the weekend, but not a washout by any means. On our Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar, again, some dense fog and a little bit of drizzle to start for this morning, but all that moisture is going to slowly push off to the east as we go throughout the morning hours. So do expect cloud cover and fog to stick around for this morning into the afternoon hours. Now, what we're also keeping an eye on is Tropical Storm Henri that could be impacting New England as we head towards this weekend, and even give us a few thunderstorms on Sunday. But for today, dense fog, a few sprinkles this morning, giving way to mostly cloudy skies as we head towards this afternoon. Temperatures warming up into the 80s as we head into tonight. Quiet weather will continue throughout the overnight into tomorrow morning as we drop back into the upper 60s to low 70s. Now, tomorrow we do run the risk for a few thunderstorms across the region throughout the day, but you will notice on our Skycast, we're not talking about any widespread rain as we head towards the weekend. So dense fog, drizzle this morning, sunshine as we head towards this afternoon. With temperatures in the low 80s as we head into tonight. We'll drop back into the upper 60s. And taking a look at the rest of your forecast as we head into tomorrow. Again, a few showers and thunderstorms possible throughout the day for both Saturday and for Sunday, with temperatures back into the 80s. The latest on Tropical Storm Henri coming up in less than 10 minutes. Katrina?
Thank you, Jill.
The time is 6:50. We are waking up with some dense fog locally, but we're also keeping an eye on the tropics. We do have Tropical Storm Henri, which has winds of 65 miles per hour. The reason why we're keeping an eye on this is because it's heading to the north and will be impacting New England as we head towards Sunday and into Monday. For us, could see a few thunderstorms from this tropical storm that will turn into a hurricane. It looks like a Category 1 hurricane as it edges closer towards Massachusetts, Rhode Island, as well as Connecticut. Now, we do have hurricane watches in effect for those locations across New England. So if you are planning on traveling to New England for this weekend into next week, just be aware that they're going to be dealing with hurricane conditions, especially for Sunday and into Monday. Closer to home, we are dealing with some fog across the region. We'll look at that morning commute forecast coming up. Katrina?
Jill, more photos to share with you. These are from Stephanie Needham and the JJ Creative Minds Organized Youth Foundation. This was on East Dominic Street in Rome around 4:30 yesterday afternoon. The photos are looking east and west from the front of the building, looking up River Street from East Dominic Street as well. Oneida County residents who have not...
Time is 7:10. We are keeping an eye on the tropics for the weekend. We have Tropical Storm Henri, which winds of 65 miles per hour. It is projected to become a hurricane for today, and unfortunately looks like it's going to make landfall somewhere in the southern parts of New England for Connecticut, Rhode Island, and for Massachusetts. And because of that, they do have hurricane watches from Cape Cod to Connecticut and Rhode Island, and then tropical storm watches just to the east of New York City. So we're going to keep a close eye on the situation. For us, closer to home, maybe a thunderstorm or two. All the bulk of that precipitation will be staying well to the east of central New York. We'll look at the rainfall for today coming up. Katrina?
Thank you, Jill.
7:16, we are waking up with relatively quiet conditions outside that fog across the region this morning, but we still have flood warnings in effect, so let's get right to those details. We have a flood warning for the Mohawk River at the Delta Dam. This is until 2 p.m. on Saturday. The West Canada Creek at Hinckley also at 2 p.m. on Saturday, and the Black River at Boonville has been extended until noon for today. Here are the latest details. The good news is the Mohawk River at the Delta Dam is now at minor flood levels and will continue to fall below the flood stage as we head into tonight and into tomorrow. We're keeping an eye on the West Canada Creek as well at Hinckley. It's near flood stage. It's only expected to head towards minor flood stage as we go throughout today. That flood stage will be lowered as we head towards tonight and into tomorrow morning. And so we're still keeping an eye on the Mohawk River at Utica. It's expecting to crest this morning. We haven't had any reports of flooding at this point in time, but we are going to keep a close eye on the water levels for the Mohawk River at Utica throughout the day. Now we'll look at the rest of your weekend forecast coming up. Katrina?
Thank you, Jill.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Jill Reel.
Starting off this morning with some areas of dense fog across central New York as we take a live look at our CAV tower cam. Again, we're seeing that fog over the Mohawk Valley for this morning. You want to give yourself some extra time as you head out the door. We're also seeing a bit of drizzle across the region. Now, as we go throughout the morning into the afternoon, the weather is going to improve. We are expecting mostly cloudy skies for today. A few thunderstorms are in the forecast as we head towards this weekend. So on our Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar, we are continuing to see that moisture push off to the east. But again, we're still with that low level moisture. That is why we're seeing some fog for this morning. But that fog will give way to mostly cloudy skies as we head towards this afternoon and into the evening hours. Then we're keeping an eye on Tropical Storm Henri that could be impacting New England as we head towards this weekend and into next week. Closer to home again for this morning, some dense fog across the region as we head towards the noon hour. Temperatures will make their way to near 80 degrees. As we go throughout the afternoon, we'll stay in the low to mid 80s with mostly cloudy skies. For tonight, quiet weather will continue into tomorrow morning. Now tomorrow, we will be tracking a few thunderstorms as we go throughout the day, but you will notice on our Skycast, we do stay relatively dry as we go throughout Saturday morning with a few thunderstorms as we head towards Saturday afternoon and into Saturday evening. Not a washout by any means for Saturday. For today, fog and drizzle this morning giving way to mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures will be in the low 80s as we head into tonight. We'll drop back into the upper 60s across the region. And taking a look at the rest of your forecast as we head into tomorrow. Again, scattered showers and thunderstorms throughout the afternoon with temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. We're going to stay in the 80s as we head towards Sunday with more in the way of some afternoon thunderstorms.
Is off this noon. We have updated information this afternoon from the city of Utica regarding the potential for some very severe flooding due to the Mohawk River cresting. The city is in constant communication with state and county officials regarding anticipated flooding throughout the city. The State Canal Corporation, according to the city, has done everything in its power to improve the flows of water into Harbor Point. Also, the conditions at Delta Reservoir are improving as flows over the spillway are diminishing. That being said, water levels are rising continuously in the vicinity of the Utica Harbor. Now, the levels are rising at a slower pace than initially projected. The water levels are expected to crest between now and 6 p.m. And here is a look at Wirz Ave a couple of hours ago. As you can see, it is under some water. Other areas of concern include Leland Ave, along with other low-lying areas adjacent to the Mohawk River. Overnight, the city of Utica warned of imminent flooding in the area near the Utica Harbor and stressed that there could be several feet of water in areas of Genesee Street and the Warehouse District. There will likely be road closures in this area for the next 24 to 36 hours. As the city of Utica prepares, the city of Rome is assessing and cleaning up. The Red Cross is assisting 4 families, a total of more than 20 people. Now, the Rome City School District and the local Red Cross have a shelter open at Rome Free Academy for anyone who still needs help. Crews last night were busy unloading supplies and helping people out. They were expecting 50 people, but some ended up staying in hotels or with family. The Red Cross shelter manager, Nancy Holohan, tells us the school was able to put a meal on for those who were at the shelter overnight.
All of them were rinsed out of their house. I say rinsed because the water has kind of come in and passed through and accumulated in their apartments and things like that. So they came in last night with pretty much nothing, the clothes they had on, because it was 10:30, 11 o'clock by the time they got here.
And if you are in need of assistance or transportation, you can contact the Rome Police Department at 315-339-7780. Directions on how to get help will be provided. And this is new video from a short time ago from Staley Elementary School in Rome, where the parking lot is still flooded. The city is still there assisting on getting water pumped out of the school. Rome Mayor Jackie Izzo issued a state of emergency for the city. She says as the water recedes, the damage from it will become evident. The next steps are assessing the damage, getting assistance, and cleaning up.
Most of the flood water has receded. Our main arteries, all the roads are open, except for some new flooding issues on Muck Road. We're having to close portions of that road. The canal, the barge canal now, Mohawk River is overflowing into the barge canal. The canal is rising, and that's causing flooding in that area. We've been in touch with NYPA and the Canal Corporation to talk about lowering the levels of the canal to stop that flow. They are looking into that. They will be getting back to us later today.
Another note, due to the flooding in Rome, the City of Rome's trash collection has been postponed to Saturday due to the flooding in the area. Taking a look at flooded out East Dominic Street from last night, these photos coming up right here were sent in by viewer Chuck Shep in Rome. As night fell, the water was still sitting there, not receding. You can see the facades of the businesses coming up here on East Dominic Street with the street itself underwater. River Street actually became part of the river. And we checked in today with businesses along East Dominic Street. The water has receded and the cleanup is surely underway. National Grid crews are there now checking for electrical hazards. There are several businesses affected from Black River Boulevard east to the Savoy. And here is video from today on Floyd Ave in Rome at the Colonial Park Rehabilitation and Nursing Center. There were some residents evacuated yesterday as a precaution. The water has receded from the parking lot, which was flooded. Reps at Colonial say residents are not in any danger there. And here is a comparison now. You're looking at the flooded out area from last night right there. Obviously, quite a difference. Meteorologist Jill Reel joins us now. And Jill, there are still some concerns out there, especially in Utica.
Yeah, that's right. Well, all the rain from the North Country is now making its way into the Mohawk River, and all that runoff is still creating some problems, especially for the Utica area. This is the latest on those flood warnings. We still have that Mohawk River at Delta Dam warning until 2 p.m. Saturday. On top of that, we're also keeping a close eye on the West Canada Creek at Hinckley. This also goes until 2 p.m. on Saturday. Here are the latest warnings again. Minor flood levels now at the Mohawk River at Delta Dam. That is some very good news. It looks like it's going to fall below the flood stage on Saturday. Then as we head towards the West Canada Creek at Hinckley, they are at minor flood stage at this point in time. Looks like we'll crest this afternoon and then go back below that flood stage on Saturday. And then, of course, we are keeping an eye on the Mohawk River in Utica, and it is expected to crest this afternoon and into the evening hours. It is very slowly rising. We've been keeping tabs on that level throughout the morning. Will continue as we head towards this afternoon. Evening. Speaking of this afternoon, there's some sunshine outside. Look at that forecast coming up. Gary?
Jill, thanks. The state of emergency that was put in place for Whitesboro due to concerns over potential flooding was lifted this morning, according to Whitesboro's mayor's office. Well, still ahead.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Jill Reel.
For this afternoon, seeing a little bit of sunshine across central New York as we do begin to dry out across the area. A live look at our CAV tower cam. A mix of sun and clouds over the Mohawk Valley for this afternoon. We're also seeing, again, a mix of sun and clouds from Coldbrook to Piseco, as well as Brookfield. A little darker clouds down towards Morrisville. But again, do expect a mix of sun and clouds to continue for this afternoon. We do run the risk for an isolated shower, especially across the southern valleys as we go throughout the afternoon hours. But for the most part, do expect dry conditions for today. We are keeping a close eye on the weekend. We could see a few thunderstorms tomorrow. And we're also keeping a close eye on Tropical Storm Henri that could be impacting New England as we head towards Sunday and into Monday. There are a few sprinkles down towards Oneonta and Norwich. Besides that, quiet on our Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. We are beginning to see some breaks in the clouds throughout the afternoon hours. It's quite humid outside, though, and warm, with temperatures warming up into the 70s and low 80s across the region. Again, we are keeping an eye on Tropical Storm Henri. It's expected to become a hurricane as we go throughout today, and it's going to make a north turn up towards New England as we head towards tonight and into tomorrow and Sunday. Locally, we're in the 70s and 80s, 81 in Ilium, 79 in Clinton as well as Mohawk, 78 in Cooperstown, 77 in Castle, 75 in Old Forge. And it's not only the heat, but of course the humidity. These dew points still quite high and will be staying high not only for today, but as we head towards tomorrow, as we head towards Sunday and for Monday as well. Once you get those dew points in the 70s, that's when it becomes very uncomfortable outside. So on our Skycast, again, outside of an isolated shower, mix of sun and clouds for this afternoon. Quiet weather for this evening as well. Looks to be an air conditioning night as temperatures will only fall back to near 70 degrees throughout the overnight into tomorrow morning. Now, a few sprinkles to start for tomorrow morning, but it's tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening where we could see a few pop-up thunderstorms across the region. But notice they are few and far between, so not everybody is going to see the rain as we go throughout the afternoon hours. Don't cancel any outdoor plans. Just have our Storm Tracker 2 weather app handy as you head out the door for Saturday afternoon and into Saturday evening. We'll dry things out as we head towards Saturday night with a chance for some thunderstorms as we head towards Sunday. So again, for today, we'll make our way into the 80s with a mix of sun and clouds. An isolated shower or thunderstorm is possible across the southern valleys. As we head into tonight, it's going to be muggy and quite uncomfortable throughout the overnight. Definitely want the fan or air conditioner going as temperatures will be dropping back into the upper 60s to near 70 degrees. Warm and humid for tomorrow. Again, we do run the risk for a few afternoon thunderstorms across the region. Besides that, relatively quiet weather for Saturday. As for Sunday, we could see a few thunderstorms from that Hurricane Henri. We'll keep a close eye on the track for that, and we're going to stay in the 80s as we head towards next week. Gary?
Jill, thanks. Some World Health officials are...
Kristen is off tonight. The remnants of Tropical Storm Fred dumped heavy rain in parts of the area yesterday, but it wasn't until early evening that we started to see the effect it was having on the city of Rome, especially in areas along the Mohawk River. News Channel 2's Kirk Tupai shows us the extent of damage in our top story tonight.
City of Rome police and codes departments are evacuating residents from their homes along River Street. Floodwaters are displacing residents as National Grid crews work to restore services. This appears to be the hardest hit area, and Rome's mayor says it's going to take time to evaluate the damage.
The street was totally engulfed with water. That's going to be a much longer process. What we're doing now, National Grid has cut the gas line, and they are flushing that. The electricity to all the residences there was turned off.
Electricity has been cut because it poses a safety concern, and residents are going to have to incur some cost to get power restored to their homes.
Electrical inspections are going to have to be made, and there will have to be determination now if they're safe to re-enter and what work has to be done. So we'll be working with people on River Street for quite a while to get them back to their homes.
Just up the river, crews are pumping out not inches, but feet of water that gushed into Staley's school. The entire school will have to be dried out before knowing the extent of the damage. We asked the mayor if she believes the school will be ready to open for the start of the school year.
It's too soon into the process. I don't even think the school district can understand the extent of the damage, what that would be, until they can get completely dry in there and then see, again, are there any electrical systems that were compromised, heating and air? So all of that has to be evaluated.
On the other side of the river is Pinty Field. It remains closed until the floodwaters can recede. Now, there have been a number of people coming to take a look at the rushing waters, but anyone near the Mohawk River should be extremely cautious.
You can get swept into the current of the Mohawk River very quickly, and if you do, you're going to be gone. I would say that a water rescue will be very daring because you're going to take off so quickly. As you can see looking at it from here, the rapids are still running very, very fast. So if you were to fall into that current, we can't guarantee your safety.
In Rome, I'm Kirk Tupai reporting for News Channel 2.
Kirk, thank you. Now, there are a number of businesses in Rome, especially along East Dominic Street, that remain closed today. The Red Cross is assisting a number of families in Rome who had to evacuate their homes last night. The Rome City School District and local Red Cross have a shelter open at Rome Free Academy for anyone who still needs help. Crews last night were busy unloading supplies and helping people out. Red Cross shelter manager Nancy Houlihan tells us that the school was able to put on a meal for those who were at the shelter overnight.
Shoes for the kids because they came out without even shoes on. Because again, last night what happened is the fire department came through with a megaphone and knocking on doors telling people they had to evacuate. So they came here with nothing, and hopefully they're going to go away with more than they came with.
If you are in need of assistance or transportation, you can contact the Rome Police Department at 339-7780. Directions on how to get that help will be provided. An update tonight on the fish hatchery in Rome, which was underwater last night. DEC officials say that the East Ponds, which contained approximately 270,000 brown trout, were inundated with water. Preliminary estimates suggest less than a total loss. DEC officials say it's too early to determine how this will impact spring 2022 stocking. They also say there does not appear to be any significant physical damage to the hatchery. The city of Utica is keeping a close eye on the Mohawk River near the Harbor Point section of North Utica, as the Mohawk River could still crest in that area. The city is in constant communication with the state and county officials regarding anticipated flooding throughout the city. The State Canal Corporation, according to the city, has done everything in its power to improve the flow of water into Harbor Point. The conditions at Delta Reservoir are improving as flows over the spillway are diminishing. That being said, water levels are rising continuously in the vicinity of Utica Harbor. The levels, are rising at slower pace than initially predicted. Water levels are expected to crest between now and 6 p.m. This is a look at Wurz Ave. You can see under quite a bit of water, and some, even though people know not to, are driving through it. Other areas of concern include Leland Ave, along with other low-lying areas adjacent to the Mohawk River. There will likely be road closures in this area for the next 24 to 36 hours. Utica Mayor Robert Palmieri tells us they're prepared as much as they can be in the event things get worse quickly.
We have a backup system in the event very similar to what transpired October 31st, a Halloween storm, when it was, I'd like to say that at this point, much more severe than it is right now. But that was a way for us to have all our ducks in a row in our understanding what's going on. So we have a rescue unit available. We have our police department, our fire department, DPW all ready to block off, barricade, and in the event that we have to transport, we would be able to transport people out of this area.
We will continue to monitor the situation at Harbor Point area in Utica and bring you any new developments. And a continued sigh of relief in Whitesboro. The state of emergency that was put in place for Whitesboro due to concerns over potential flooding, that was all lifted this morning. No major flooding like we've seen so many times over the past several years during heavy rainfalls. The village declared it late last night after hearing it may be impacted by flooding on the Mohawk River. Whitesboro Mayor Robert Friedlander says that the situation could easily have been worse.
Received notification late last night that Lake Delta's dam was overflowing and that they were going to do whatever attempts they could do to alleviate any massive exiting of the water, so that in the event that water came over, if they had to release some of the water, it looked like we were possibly in the path of a lot of excess water that would flow into the Mohawk River, and possibly the Mohawk River would go over its banks and impede into the village of Whitesboro.
So again, good news for those often flooded out residents of Main Street in Whitesboro. No major flooding this time around. Time now for a first look at the forecast. Here's meteorologist Hannah Evans in for Bill tonight. We're not going to see any heavy rains tonight, are we?
No, we are expecting some scattered thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon afternoon, though, a live look at a Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler. Just some scattered showers around the area. Nothing to worry about. So right now we have temperatures at 83. That will drop into the 60s overnight, but it is feeling quite muggy out with that dew point up at 70. So tracking those floods, the Mohawk River at the Delta Dam is in the minor level right now. That should fall on Saturday, but at the Mohawk River in Utica, that is cresting by this evening. Right now, it is about 16 feet, so that should start to drop by this evening. And again, the West Canada Creek at Hinckley, that is at a minor flood stage. That should fall for Saturday. For this evening, we have temperatures in the upper 70s to lower 80s, and I will have your full forecast coming up. Back to you, Jason.
Hannah, thank you. As Tropical Storm Henri churns over the Atlantic, hurricane watches are in effect for Long Island, New York, and coasts of southern New England. Forecasters say the storm could intensify over the weekend, and it could be the first hurricane to make landfall in New England in decades. NBC's Chris Pallone takes a look at how people are preparing.
In Sandwich, Massachusetts Friday, boaters spent a picture-perfect summer day taking their vessels out of the water.
A lot of my friends are calling, should I pull the boat, should I pull the boat? And I'm just like, you know, add extra lines, and if you have a trailer, pull the boat out.
They're preparing for the arrival of Henri. A similar scene is unfolding throughout the region.
Preparations, that's all what it's all about.
We are asking everyone to take this storm seriously.
The potential for flash flooding and uprooted trees is high after the remnants of Tropical Storm Fred dumped several inches of rain on the region Thursday.
With those conditions, storm surge and hurricane force winds, what you can expect, trees coming down, electrical wires coming down, and of course that means power outages.
A hurricane hasn't made landfall in New England in 30 years. Hurricane Bob struck the area in 1991 and caused hundreds of millions of dollars in damage and left nearly 1 million people without power.
It has been a long time since we've had a storm like this one.
A rare blast from the tropics now bearing down on the Northeast. Chris Pallone, NBC News.
Let's go county by county with the newest coronavirus numbers in our 90.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Hannah Evans.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back. We finally had some quiet weather today after all the flooding and the severe storms we experienced this past weekend. A live look at our Cavvy Tower Cam. It is mostly cloudy out tonight, and that will continue into the night. We may see some scattered afternoon thunderstorms tomorrow as well. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Nothing serious going on, just some scattered showers in some of our areas. But if we zoom out and look on the East Coast, this is Tropical Storm Henri. That is expecting to make landfall in the southern part of New England by Sunday night into early Monday morning. And we are looking at this because we may see some storms because of this. The models are showing it moving into Sunday night into Monday into the southern New England area, but it may be further inward and impact us as well. So here is the tracker. Right now it is down near the Carolinas off the coast, but if we go up Sunday into Monday, this is when it will make landfall in the southern part of New England. So just keeping an eye on that, and I will continue to track that throughout this weekend. I will be here. Temperatures right now are sitting in the lower 80s. We have Rome at 83, and it is feeling quite muggy out. We have that dew point in Rome at 70, so it is feeling very humid outside right now, feeling a lot warmer than 83 degrees. So if you are walking your dog tonight, it is pretty hot and muggy outside. Our featured dog tonight is Gus. And if you want to be a part of this, send in your pictures to Bill's Buddies on Facebook. This is brought to you by Staffworks. Your skycast for this evening, mostly cloudy, some scattered showers in the area. Moving into the night into Friday, or into Saturday, excuse me. It will be in the lower 70s, waking up, some scattered storms in the area. And again, that will last into the afternoon and evening hours with highs in the mid 80s. Moving into Sunday, it is still going to be mostly cloudy, still those scattered showers and storms, and that's when we may see Tropical Storm Henri, those storms impacting us Sunday night into Monday. Before this evening, we have temperatures in the upper 70s to lower 80s, partly cloudy, getting into tonight, increasing clouds. tomorrow, a high of 86. Those scattered thunderstorms in the area for the day tomorrow, still quite muggy and humid out. 7-day forecast showing for the New York State Fair tomorrow, iffy day, some scattered showers and storms are expected into Sunday and Monday as well due to Tropical Storm Henri making landfall. Clearing out for Tuesday and Wednesday, still quite humid, still hot, highs in the mid-80s. And unfortunately, we are tracking some storms to return again for the day on Thursday. Jason.
So not a washout by any means any of the days this weekend. Just keep an eye to the sky, bring an umbrella,
yes.
Maybe the News Channel 2 app and see what's going on.
Not sure yet. I am going to be tracking Henri because they said it may be closer inward than they're expecting. So I will keep everyone updated.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Hannah.
Thanks.
The Great New York State Fair is underway. This will capping your top stories tonight. The city of Rome is recovering from rising waters that overflowed the Mohawk River. Residents along River Street are being evacuated as National Grid crews flush natural gas lines there. Power to the street also had to be cut until the Codes Department can assess the safety of each home. Workers are also pumping out water from Staley Elementary School. The school will need to be dried out before determining the damage. Some businesses along East Dominic Street have temporarily closed their doors to flooding, due to flooding, and the Pinty Field is closed until waters recede. The city of Utica has some flooding in North Utica, but near the Harbor Point. However, the city is keeping a close eye on the Mohawk River as it continues to rise a little bit in that area, ever so slightly, which could cause some major damage and dangerous conditions if that continues to happen. And in Whitesboro, they're pretty used to getting quite a bit of flooding during heavy rainfalls, but this time the village was spared. Mayor Bob Friedlander has been keeping an eye on the Sequoia Creek, but luckily it did not crest in the area where it usually goes over its banks off of Main Street. Good evening once again. As we just mentioned, the city of Utica keeping a close eye on the Mohawk River, just in case that crest in the Harbor Point area was even higher, but it's creeping up very slowly. Robert Palmieri, the mayor there, says that the city is as prepared as it can be.
Through the Utica Fire Department, through our police department, through the Department of Public Works, and again, working with the state, the Canal Corp, we're as prepared as Mother Nature will allow us to be, but we're definitely prepared.
We're going to continue to monitor that situation at the Harbor Point area in Utica and bring you any new developments. Don't do that if you're out there. An update tonight on the town of Western, where many are still recovering from the flooding there Thursday morning. Town of Western Fire Chief Mike Ania says the department is caught up from yesterday, but they are emotionally drained. He also says they had to turn off the power at Delta Lake State Park campground early this morning, right around 3 o'clock, because they had a fire in the electrical box that feeds the park. All campsites are without power at this time. The fire department has been hearing from people, who can I donate to help those in need? Well, the department is accepting monetary donations from anyone who wants to help out those in need in that community. And you can make the checks out to the Volunteer Fire Company of Western, P.O. Box 17, Westernville, New York, 13486. We also have all of this information for you on our website, WKTV.com. Let's get you caught up on the weather in this half hour. Again, we go over to meteorologist Hannah Evans, and the radar quiet, maybe a spotty shower here and there?
Very, very few spotty showers tonight. We are tracking some afternoon thunderstorms for the weekend, though. This is the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Very, very few scattered showers. And if you are going to the Herkimer County Fair tonight, temperatures will be in the upper 70s to lower 80s. And like I said, few showers, but otherwise partly sunny. Tracking those flood warnings. So the Mohawk River at Delta Dam is still minor level of flood, and this will fall below the flood level on Saturday. The Mohawk River at Utica, this is cresting by this evening. It is still rising very slowly, but hopefully by this evening it will start to decrease its levels. For the West Canada Creek at Hinckley, this is also at a minor flood stage. That should fall below the flood level tomorrow afternoon. But for this evening, temperatures in the lower 70s to upper 80s, partly cloudy, few showers here and there. I will have your full forecast when we return. Back to you, Jason.
All right, thank you, Hannah. The Utica man facing charges after a domestic incident on Taylor Avenue. Now, Utica police tell us officers were called.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Hannah Evans.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back. We had a little break today from the rain the past weekend, the severe thunderstorms, the flooding. So a nice break today. A live look at the Mirabito Tower Cam overlooking Oneonta. We see mostly cloudy skies, some peaks of sunshine. Yorkville Valley Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar showing not really that much activity, just a few showers here and there. But again, nothing severe or anything for this evening. We are tracking some scattered thunderstorms for this weekend, though, and as we get into Sunday and Monday, we are going to be following the tropical storm Henri, which is just off the coast of the Carolinas right now. If we zoom out to the radar and satellite, this should be making landfall in the southern part of New England Sunday night into Monday morning, and we are mentioning this because this may be affecting us. Right now, it is trending to just be in the New England area by Sunday night into Monday. But the models are looking to be, it may be a bit westward towards us. So I will keep you updated throughout the weekend and be tracking this for you as well. Hopefully no severe thunderstorms or flooding will happen, but I will keep track of this for this weekend. Skywatcher reports right now we have 80 in Old Forge, 78 in West Leiden. I want to give a shout out to our Skywatcher in West Leiden. Jerry, it's his birthday today, so happy birthday. As we go further south, we have 77 in Cassville, again 77 Edmonston, so ranging from the upper 70s to 80s for this evening. Our dew points, we have 70 degrees in Rome. This is in the humid category. It is going to remain mostly humid to even tropical for this weekend and for the next couple of days. So walking the dog tonight, it is hot, it is humid, temperatures in the low 80s. Tonight's featured dog is Gus, and if you want to be a part of this, send in your dog pictures to Bill's Buddies on Facebook. This is sponsored by Staffworks. So your skycast for this evening, we have mostly cloudy now, temperatures in the upper 70s to lower 80s, some scattered showers and storms throughout the night, and again into the day tomorrow. We are very hot, very humid, seasonably warm for this weekend. Scattered showers and storm in the forecast for this weekend as well. We are tracking Henri to move into the region Sunday night into Monday, so I will keep an eye on that for you as well. For this evening, temperatures in the upper 70s to lower 80s, partly to mostly cloudy. And again for tomorrow, partly to mostly cloudy, some scattered thunderstorms in the afternoon with a high of 86. 7-day forecast showing if you're going to the New York State Fair this weekend, iffy weather, scattered showers and storms, but seasonably warm, temperatures in the 80s. Still some scattered showers and storms for Monday, clearing out for Tuesday and Wednesday, still hot, still humid, but those storms are going to be returning for the day on Thursday with a high of 84. We'll be right back.
Tonight, the Mohawk River in Rome continues to rush at dangerous levels, and there may be more damage to come. News Channel 2's Kirk Tupai explains what's been damaged and what is yet to come in our top story tonight.
Residents of Rome are still recovering from floodwaters that overtook the bank of the Mohawk River. Water made its way onto Floyd Ave, so the city evacuated several residents from the Colonial Nursing Home as a precautionary measure. Several businesses along East Dominic Street were flooded out as water at the Delta Dam reached record levels.
In this instance, with rain, you get inches, and we got many, many inches. I believe that the dam the lake set a new record at flood level and exceeded it by several inches. That water has to go somewhere.
Water also flooded out homes along River Street. Residents are being evacuated as National Grid crews are flushing the gas lines and have cut power to all the homes on the street. The Codes Department will have to make determinations before residents will be allowed back into their homes. The rain may have stopped, but the water hasn't stopped rushing over the banks of the Mohawk River.
The Mohawk River is overflowing into the barge canal. The canal is rising, and that's causing flooding in that area. We've been in touch with NYPA and the Canal Corporation to talk about lowering the levels of the canal to stop that flow.
Some of the waters from Rome are likely going to flow downstream, causing flooding in the city of Utica.
It's Mother Nature, and the volume of rain that we've had is something that no matter where you are it can only handle so much, and it's the overflow of what's transpiring at this point.
I don't think it's a finger-pointing issue right now. It was a Mother Nature event, and unfortunately today for Utica, they are going to be dealing with much the same issues with flooding that we were last night.
In Rome, I'm Kirk Tupai reporting for News Channel 2.
The Red Cross is assisting 4 more families in Rome, a total of more than 20 people. The Rome City School District and local Red Cross have set up a shelter at Rome Free Academy for anyone who still needs help. Crews were busy last night unloading supplies and helping people out. Red Cross shelter manager Nancy Houlihan tells us that the school was able to put on a meal for those who were in the shelter overnight.
All of them were rinsed out of their house. I say rinsed because the water has kind of come in and passed through and accumulated in their apartments and things like that. So they came in last night with pretty much nothing, the clothes they had on, because it was 10, 10:30, 11 o'clock by the time they got here.
If you're in need of assistance or transportation, you can contact the Rome Police Department at 315-339-7780. Directions on how to get that help will be provided. An update tonight on the fish hatchery in Rome, which was underwater last night. DEC officials say the East Ponds, which contained approximately 270,000 brown trout, were inundated with water. Preliminary estimates suggest less than a total loss. DEC officials say it's too early to determine how this will impact spring 2022 stocking. They also say there does not appear to be any significant physical damage to the hatchery. An update tonight in the town of Western, which, well, many people are still recovering from the flooding from Thursday morning there. Town of Western Fire Chief Mike Ania says the department is caught up from yesterday, but they are emotionally drained. He also says they had to turn off power at Delta Lake State Park campground early this morning, right around 3 o'clock in the morning, because of a fire in the electrical box that feeds the park there. All campsites are without power at this time. The fire department has been hearing from people, and they're asking, how can I help to donate to those in need? Well, the department is accepting monetary donations from anyone who wants to help out those in need in the community. You can make the checks out to that address right there on your screen. The Volunteer Fire Company of Western, P.O. Box 17, Westernville, New York, 13486. We also have this information at WKTV.com. We have updated information from the city of Utica regarding the potential for some very severe flooding due to the Mohawk River cresting in that area. The city is in the constant communication with the state and county officials regarding anticipated flooding throughout the city. The State Canal Corporation, according to the city, has done everything in its power to improve the flows of water into Harbor Point. The conditions at Delta Reservoir are improving as flows over the spillway are diminishing. Well, that being said, water levels are rising continuously in the vicinity of the Utica Harbor. The levels are rising slower than initially predicted. The water levels are expected to crest right around now. This is a look at Wers Ave. As you can see, still a lot of water there. Don't do that. That's not a good idea. Some are driving through it. Please don't. Other areas of concern include Leland Ave, with other low-lying areas adjacent to the Mohawk River. There will likely be road closures in this area for the next 24 to 36 hours. Utica Mayor Robert Palmieri says they're prepared as much as they can be with events like this.
It's coming through. It's moving at a much slower pace than we anticipated. It's kind of amazing you're out here with the sun shining over 80 degrees, and we're looking at potential flooding. And as you can look behind us, it is over the bulkhead as we are speaking, and it's not moving as rapidly as we thought. That could be a good thing, and that could be, unfortunately, an unknown thing at this point.
We will continue to monitor the situation at Harbor Point and bring you any new information as soon as it becomes available. A continued sigh of relief in Whitesboro tonight. The state of emergency that was put in place for Whitesboro due to concerns over potential flooding was lifted this morning. No major flooding like we've seen many times over the past several years during heavy rainfall. The village declared it late last night after hearing it could be impacted by flooding of the Mohawk River. Whitesboro Mayor Bob Freelander thought it would be best to be proactive.
When I got the word that it was a strong possibility sometime after midnight that my village could be impacted with flooding, I immediately called my other board members and my department heads. We had a meeting here at the village office and amongst ourselves discussing what direction we should go with this information that we received. We felt it was best to go ahead with the state of emergency, just to make an awareness that there could be a problem.
Mayor Friedlander said the situation easily could have been much worse. Time now for a first look at the forecast at 6. We go over to meteorologist Hannah Evans in for Bill tonight. Good evening, Hannah.
Good evening, Jason. Good evening, everybody. We had a little bit of a break today from the rain, the severe thunderstorms, the flooding that occurred over the weekend. Here's a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. No activity at all right now. We did see a few scattered showers earlier. So if you are going to the fair tonight, it is humid. It is mostly cloudy. Temperatures in the upper 70s to lower 80s. And tracking those floods, this is the Mohawk River at the Delta Dam. This is at a minor flood level. This should fall tomorrow. The Mohawk River in Utica. This is cresting by this evening. The 5:30 p.m. update, it rose slightly, so I'm still waiting for this to crest and start decreasing by this evening. And the West Canada Creek at Hinckley, this is in the minor flood stage as well. This should fall below the flood stage on Saturday. Before this evening, we have temperatures in the lower 70s to upper 80s, partly to mostly cloudy, and I will be having your full forecast when we return. Back to you, Jason.
And thank you. A Utica man is facing charges after a domestic incident on Taylor Avenue. Utica police tell us.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Hannah Evans.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back. We had a nice break today from the severe thunderstorms, the flooding that occurred over the past couple of days. Here's a live look at the CAPV tower cam right now. Mostly cloudy, some peaks of sun you can see there. No precipitation is in the forecast tonight. This is a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar, but I am expecting some scattered thunderstorms to move in for your weekend. And we are tracking this tropical storm Henri. Right now it is off the east coast of the Carolinas, but that will be moving into the southern part of New England by Sunday afternoon. This may affect us, so that's why we are tracking it. So here is the tracker. This is moving up into the southern part of New England by Sunday afternoon, but the models may predict it moving further westward into our area, may affect us, bringing some scattered showers and storms for Sunday. So I am going to be tracking this for most of the weekend. Hopefully no severe thunderstorms or flooding comes out of this, but I am going to keep an eye on it since we experienced a lot of flooding these past couple of days. So here is the flood outlook for the next couple of days. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I am saying it is possible, just in case this tropical storm Henri does come further inward into our area. So it is possible to see some more flooding on top of what we experienced the past couple of days. So temperatures this evening, we have some Skywatch reports coming in. We have 80 in Old Forge, 82 in Clinton. I want to give a shout out to Jerry, our Skywatcher in West Leiden. It is his birthday today. They are coming in at 78 degrees in their area. Moving further down south, 80 in Mohawk, 74 in Milford. So ranging from the 70s to 80s tonight. It is very humid, though, so we see our dew point in Rome is at 71. This is in the tropical category. It is going to remain humid at least for the next couple of days. So mapping out your weekend, here is our skycast. We are in the upper 70s to lower 80s tonight. Mostly cloudy. Temperatures will drop into the mid-60s overnight. Moving into the morning, I am tracking some scattered showers and storms throughout the day on Saturday and Sunday as well. Seasonably warm temperatures in the 80s for both of these days and into Monday as well. So it is going to be quite a muggy and rainy weekend ahead. So this evening we have temperatures in upper 70s to lower 80s, partly to mostly cloudy, and for tomorrow partly to mostly cloudy again. Scattered thunderstorms are in the area with a high of 86, seasonably warm for this time of year. So your 7-day forecast showing if you are going to the New York State Fair this weekend, it may be iffy, some scattered showers and storms because of that humidity. I am tracking Henri. See if we get some rain from that for Sunday and Monday. Temperatures in the upper 80s for Monday and Tuesday, drying out on Tuesday and Wednesday. Temperature at 84 on Wednesday, but unfortunately I am tracking some scattered storms to return for the day on Thursday. Jason?
Hannah, thank you. Still to come on News Channel 2 at 6. The Colgate women's ice hockey team is well represented at the Women's World Championship. Jason Paulus, thank you for joining us. The city of Utica keeping a close eye on the Mohawk River near the Harbor Point section of North Utica. It is your top story on this Friday night. Let's take a look at Wurz Ave. It is under quite a bit of water still at this hour, and some, even though they're not supposed to, are driving through it. Other areas of concern include Leland Avenue, along with other low-lying areas adjacent to the Mohawk River. There will likely be road closures in this area for the next 24 to 36 hours. Utica Mayor Robert Palmieri tells us the city is as prepared as they can be to monitor this overnight.
The Utica Fire Department, through our police department, through the Department of Public Works, and again working with the state Canal Corp, we're as prepared as Mother Nature will allow us to be, but we're definitely prepared.
Now, the city is in constant communication with the state and county officials regarding water levels. New tonight, businesses on East Dominic Street in Rome endured heavy flooding, and now they're cleaning up. The Savoy was impacted by the flooding, so much so, well, they had to close. But the restaurant opened up again today, and many customers are dining in now. General Manager Michael Scallon emphasized just how lucky they were that the damage was not as bad as it could have been.
We had to get those serviced, and thankfully that was it.
It noted that the restaurant will be making food for shelter set up at Rome Free Academy. City of Rome police and codes departments are evacuating residents from along their homes on River Street. They're still out of their homes at this hour. Floodwaters displacing those residents as National Grid crews work to restore services. This appears to be the hardest hit area, and Rome's mayor says it's going to take some time to evaluate the damage. The gas lines are being flushed and the electricity has been cut because it poses a safety concern. Residents are going to have to incur some of the cost to get the power restored to their homes.
Electrical inspections are going to have to be made, and there will have to be determination now if they're safe to re-enter and what work has to be done. So we'll be working with people on River Street for quite a while to get them back to their homes.
Just up the river, crews are pumping out not inches but feet of water that gushed into Staley School. The entire school is going to have to be dried out before knowing the extent of the damage. The mayor says it's too soon to tell if the building will be ready for the start of the school year. The Red Cross is assisting a number of families in Rome who had to evacuate their homes last night. The Rome City School District and the local Red Cross opened a shelter at RFA for those who still need help. Crews last night were busy uploading supplies and helping people out. Red Cross shelter manager Nancy Houlihan tells us that the school was able to put on a meal for those who were in the shelter overnight.
Shoes for the kids because they came out without even shoes on. Because again, last night what happened is the fire department came through with a megaphone and knocking on doors telling people they had to evacuate. So they came here with nothing, and hopefully they're going to go away with more than they came with.
If you are in need of assistance or transportation, contact the Rome Police Department. Again, 315-339-7780. Directions on how to get that help will be provided. Oneida County Sheriff Rob Mayshel's marine meteorologist Hannah Evans. Good evening, Hannah.
Good evening, Jason. Good evening, everybody. We finally got a break today from the severe thunderstorms and the flooding that occurred over the past couple of days. Here's a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. We are seeing a few scattered showers just south of us, but those will continue to weaken throughout the night. Temperature is sitting at 75. That will drop into the mid-60s overnight. Still very humid with that dew point sitting at 71, excuse me. Still tracking some flooding at the Mohawk River at the Delta Dam. That is at a minor flood level. That will go down into below the minor flood level for Saturday. In Utica, the Mohawk River is cresting by tonight. It is currently at 16.5 feet. I will continue to keep an eye on that. And the West Canada Creek is at a minor flood stage. That will also drop tomorrow. Tonight, we have a low of 66, muggy and mostly cloudy, and I will have your full forecast coming up. Back to you, Jason.
Hannah, thank you. Right now, Tropical Storm Henri is forecasted to become a hurricane tomorrow, and the threat of a strike making rare landfall in the northeast has parts of that region on edge. Reed Binion has the latest.
But as long as we can find high ground, I'm fine.
Never even thought about whatever's coming. Are they calling it a hurricane?
It's the calm before the storm. Sunny skies and not a drop of rain in sight on the Massachusetts coast Friday. But that's expected to change in the next 48 hours as Tropical Storm Henri churns toward the northeast, forecast to make a rare landfall as a hurricane in New York, Rhode Island, or Massachusetts by Sunday.
We're preparing for what could be, as I mentioned, hurricane force winds, Category 1, sustains to 74 mile per hour winds, gusts up to 90 miles an hour.
We are asking everyone to take this storm seriously. The impacts of this storm will be widespread. Due to the significant amount of rain and high winds, everyone in the state, if possible, should plan to be at home by Saturday night and to plan to stay at home on Sunday.
With the storm strengthening, threatening to produce life-threatening storm surge, floods, and destructive winds, preparations are underway.
We're also activating up to 1,000 members of the National Guard. The storm could knock out power for somewhere between 100,000 and 300,000 residents based on the current estimates. So we're also working with utilities and others to stage crews around the Commonwealth.
I'm Reed Binion reporting.
Focus Economy now. Granby Industries announced it has acquired ECR International. We checked out the ECR International website.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Hannah Evans.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back. We had a great break today from the past flooding and severe thunderstorms that occurred the past couple of days. A live look at the CAV Tower Cam overlooking the city of Utica. We have a mostly cloudy night ahead, expecting some scattered storms to move into the area tomorrow afternoon. Here is a live look from the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. We are seeing some scattered showers just to the south of us, but they are going to weaken throughout the night tonight. We shouldn't be seeing any showers. If we do, it would be a scattered shower or two just in some of our areas, but nothing too serious. But I am tracking some scattered thunderstorms tomorrow and for Sunday. This is the tropical storm Henri that is going to be moving up into the southern part of New England and making landfall Sunday afternoon. So we are tracking that as well because we may be seeing some rainfall and storms because of this tropical storm, which is expected to upgrade to a hurricane by tomorrow. So tracking this storm as it moves up the east coast into the Atlantic Ocean, it should make landfall Sunday afternoon, and we are expecting some remnants of it to come into our area Sunday night into Monday. Just be wary of this. It may come further inland than they are expecting right now, so we may see some scattered showers and storms because of this. I will be keeping you updated throughout the weekend. I will be here tracking its path. Temperatures right now, we have Rome at 75 degrees, quite warm for the time. 71 is the dew point. This is in the humid to tropical category, so again, still very humid. It will remain this way for at least the next couple of days. Very hot, very humid. So when you are sleeping tonight, it is going to be quite uncomfortable. Temperatures only dropping to 66 for the overnight low. That will happen at about 2 or 3 a.m. So I would have the air conditioner on, maybe the fan if it is very hot tonight. Skycast for the next couple of days. Tonight we are only dropping into the mid-60s, mostly cloudy, and again, I am tracking those scattered showers and storms to move into our area tomorrow, and that will linger into Sunday as well. So kind of a muggy, rainy weekend ahead. Unfortunately, we can't seem to get a break from this rain, and as well as Tropical Storm Henri, I will be tracking that as well this weekend. So tonight, a low of 66, muggy, mostly cloudy. Tomorrow, again, mostly cloudy. We are tracking some scattered thunderstorms, but a high of 86, unseasonably warm. So for the weekend, if you are going to the fair this weekend, it is an iffy weekend, some scattered showers and storms. Drying out for Tuesday and Wednesday, still highs in the 80s, seasonably warm. We'll be right back.
The city of Utica keeping a very close eye on the Mohawk River near the Harbor Point section of North Utica. It is your top story on this Friday night. Let's take a look at Wurz Ave. A lot of water there. You can see under quite a bit of water. In fact, some, even though they know they're not supposed to, are still driving through it. It is closed off there. Other areas of concern are Leland Avenue, with other low-lying areas adjacent to the Mohawk River. Now, there will be road closures in this area for the next 24 to 36 hours. Utica Mayor Robert Palmieri tells us that the city is as prepared as much as it can be, and they will be monitoring things overnight.
The Utica Fire Department, through our police department, through the Department of Public Works, and again working with the state Canal Corp, we're as prepared as Mother Nature will allow us to be, but we're definitely prepared.
The city is in constant communication with the state and county officials regarding those water levels. New tonight, businesses on East Dominic Street in Rome endured heavy flooding, and now they're cleaning up. The Savoy was impacted by the flooding, so much so that they had to close, but the restaurant opened up again today, and they had customers dining in. General Manager Michael Scanlon emphasized how lucky they were that the damage was not as bad as it could have been.
We had about 10 inches of water, and it started to pour in through the concrete, and pieces of the wall were coming down. Our 2 hot water heaters are shot, so we had to get those serviced, and thankfully that was it. But, you know, this place has been here for over 100 years, right next to the river. This is as bad as they've ever seen it, but, you know, they're prepared for this kind of thing to happen.
Scanlon noted that the restaurant will be making food for the shelter that was set up at Rome Free Academy. City of Rome police and codes departments have evacuated residents from their homes along River Street. Floodwaters displacing those residents as National Grid crews had to work to restore services there. It appears to be the hardest hit area in Rome, and the mayor says it's going to take some time to evaluate the damage. Gas lines had to be flushed, and electricity had to be cut because it poses a safety concern. Residents are going to have to incur some costs, too, to get the power restored to their homes.
Electrical inspections are going to have to be made, and there would have to be determination now if they're safe to re-enter and what work has to be done. So we'll be working with people on River Street for quite a while to get them back to their homes.
Now, just up, the river crews are pumping out not inches but feet of water into Staley Elementary School. The entire school is going to have to be dried out before knowing the extent of the damage. The mayor says way too soon to tell if the building will be ready for the start of the school year. Red Cross assisting a number of families in Rome who had to evacuate homes last night. The Rome City School District and the local Red Cross set up a shelter over at RFA for anyone who needed it. Crews last night busy uploading supplies and helping people get out. Red Cross shelter manager Nancy Houlihan tells us that the school was able to put on a meal for those who were in the shelter overnight.
Shoes for the kids because they came out without even shoes on. Because again, last night what happened is fire department came through with a megaphone and knocking on doors telling people they had to evacuate. So they came here with nothing, and hopefully they're going to go away with more than they came with.
If you're still in need of assistance or transportation, contact the Rome Police Department, 315-339-7780. Directions on how to get that help will be provided. Oneida County Sheriff Rob Maish, Hannah Evans. Good evening, Hannah.
Good evening, Jason. Good evening, everybody. A nice break that we had today from the flash flooding, the severe thunderstorms that we experienced the last couple of days. I am tracking some more moving in tomorrow. A live look at the Yorkville Barrier Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. We are seeing some scattered showers and storms just to the south of us, affecting Otsego County and Madison County right now. So we may see that as we get into tonight. Temperature is at 75 degrees. Dew point is still at 70, so it is feeling quite muggy, quite humid out right now. Tracking those flood warnings, the Mohawk River at the Delta Dam, that is still at a minor flood level. That should decrease come Saturday. And the Mohawk River at Utica, that should be cresting by tonight. It is still slightly going up. The gauge height is at 16.5 feet, so I'll be tracking that as well. And also the West Canada Creek at Hinckley, that is at a minor flood stage as well. Moving into tonight, a low of 66, quite muggy outside. I will have your full forecast coming up. Back to you, Jason.
Hannah, thank you. Right now, Tropical Storm Henri is forecasted to become a hurricane tomorrow, and the threat of a strike making rare landfall in the Northeast has the region on edge. Reed Binion has the latest tonight.
But as long as we can find high ground, I'm fine.
Never even thought about whatever's coming. Are they calling it a hurricane?
It's the calm before the storm. Sunny skies and not a drop of rain in sight on the Massachusetts coast Friday. But that's expected to change in the next 48 hours as Tropical Storm Henri churns toward the northeast, forecast to make a rare landfall as a hurricane in New York, Rhode Island, or Massachusetts by Sunday.
We're preparing for what could be, as I mentioned, hurricane force winds, Category 1. sustains to 74 mile per hour winds, gusts up to 90 miles an hour.
We are asking everyone to take this storm seriously. The impacts of this storm will be widespread. Due to the significant amount of rain and high winds, everyone in the state, if possible, should plan to be at home by Saturday night and to plan to stay at home on Sunday.
With the storm strengthening, threatening to produce life-threatening storm surge, floods, and destructive winds, preparations are underway.
We're also activating up to 1,000 members of the National Guard. The storm could knock out power for somewhere between 100,000 and 300,000 residents based on the current estimates. So we're also working with utilities and others to stage crews around the Commonwealth.
I'm Reed Binion reporting.
Focus Economy, Granby.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Hannah Evans.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back. We had a nice break today from the flooding, severe thunderstorms from Fred these past couple of days. I am tracking some scattered thunderstorms this weekend, as well as Tropical Storm Henri. A live look at the Cavie Tower Cam overlooking the city of Utica. A mostly cloudy night here ahead in preparation for some storms coming in tomorrow. This is the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. If you can see, we are seeing some scattered showers just to the south of us, mainly affecting Otsego and Madison counties. This should start to die down into the night tonight. But we also are tracking the Tropical Storm Henri. This is expected to become a hurricane by tomorrow because those winds will be above 74 miles per hour. So we are tracking this just because we may be affected by this with some afternoon thunderstorms into Sunday, into Monday. So this is the radar and satellite. And if we zoom out and do our tropical storm tracker, we see it is expected to make landfall in the southern part of New England by Sunday afternoon. These storms could affect us Sunday night into Monday. So I am just going to be keeping an eye on that and tracking that over the weekend, keeping you updated, of course, as well. Temperatures this evening, right now we're sitting at 75, quite warm for the time. And that dew point is at 70 as well. This is in the humid category. We will remain mostly humid and muggy for at least these next couple of days. So sleeping tonight may feel a bit uncomfortable. I would recommend having the air conditioning on and the fan. We are only going to reach 66 degrees tonight, and that won't happen until about 2 or 3 a.m. So it may feel quite hot and muggy tonight. So mapping out the rest of the weekend, we see getting into tonight, we are only dropping into the 60s, mostly cloudy, a muggy night ahead. Moving into tomorrow, that's when we see those scattered showers and storms happening in mainly the afternoon hours and lingering into the day on Sunday as well. And like I said, we will be tracking Tropical Storm Henri, which is expected to be a hurricane by tomorrow. But for tonight, we have a low of 66, a muggy, mostly cloudy night ahead. Tomorrow, again, mostly cloudy. Some scattered thunderstorms are in the forecast with a high of 86, seasonably warm for this time of year. 7-day forecast showing this weekend, if you are going to the New York State Fair, and maybe an iffy weekend for that because we are tracking some storms, highs in the 80s. Drying and clearing out for the days on Tuesday and Wednesday, some sunshine with highs in the mid-80s as well. Unfortunately, they look to return on Thursday, but hopefully clearing out again on Friday. We'll be right back.